Hey, got another question for you.
Okay.
Okay. So what do you think makes a session feel memorable?
That's a good question. Give me a second to think about that. Oh, okay, let me put it back to you. Memorable for players or memorable for the game master? Because they're not necessarily the same thing.
Ooh, let's do memorable for players.
Okay. I think for players to have a memorable session, Okay. I think the most memorable sessions are going to be the ones that had lead ups, right? Like you could have a really cool combat in a moment that's kind of like a war game and maybe you remember it. But I think the thing that's going to make that most memorable is when you have a few sessions that build up to it. You know, like you've been trying to go hunt down that guy and he just keeps evading you all over the place. And then when you do finally encounter him, it's not the encounter you thought it was. It's a totally different thing. But now it's a fight. But now it's, you know what I mean? Like, but because you were going for that thing a few sessions, maybe 5 sessions,
Yeah, the
right?
build up.
Right.
Yeah.
The build up to that thing makes that more memorable. For a dungeon master, I think a lot of the memorable stuff actually comes on the flip. It comes where the players do something so sporadic and so strange with their characters that the dungeon master's like, oh, what did you did what? You know?
Yeah.
And there is like a unique exchange or there is a sudden twist or a reversal. I think those things cause for, like where a character puts themselves in danger in order to accomplish a goal. Dungeon masters remember those moments. I remember a lot of times where a player went, my character steps in the way of that shot. My character comes, I'm going over here, I'm grabbing that kid out of the way. That's where I go like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like going, oh, that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
So I think those sporadic, like you didn't know a player was going to do it, and then they do. Those stand out. Obviously, dungeon masters will probably remember build-ups as well, especially if they manage to hold back and don't just release it. Let the story happen naturally. But I think the build-up is probably the thing that makes the most memorable sessions.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.